All right, everyone, listen up. Have you ever wondered what would happen if Wall Street finally pulled the trigger and locked in on the price of XRP? Well, looks like that moment might be here. We might have that exact setup. I'll discuss it. Don't you worry. And trust me, nobody's ready for how big this shockwave could get. We're seeing a breakout in real time, the kind that rewrites the rules and shakes out the doubters for good. But that's not even the wildest part. Bitwise, they just dropped a prediction that has every crypto analyst double checking their charts. We're not talking about some random moon boy call that you see on Twitter. This is real institutional firepower who is making this call. And if you ever held XRP and wondered, and I'm sure a lot of you have, when is our time? Well, you need to stick around because I'm going to break down exactly what's happening, what's going on behind the scenes, why this could flip the script for everyone holding, and how you can position yourself ahead of the biggest moves coming our way. Buckle up, folks. And as always, make sure you do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. It really helps out the channel. It tells YouTube Rip's producing amazing content, and we want everyone else to know about the content. It takes you 2 seconds, and it is the free way to support our new channel, The Bullwinkle Blueprint. Now, without further ado, and no more distractions, let's dive in because you're not going to want to miss this. Bitcoin coming in at $118,033. It's currently up 6.23% in the past 24 hours. Ethereum coming in at $3,003. It's currently up over 7.91%. And XRP, it's leading the way here, folks, up over 8.33%. It is coming in at $2.64. We are on the break of the second to last resistant area, and we're about to get into that in a second. These are the exact targets that we've been talking about on Patreon. If you are a Patreon member, if not, I'll link it below in this video. You need to get in. But here you go. We talked about this just on June 30th, what we were looking for on XRP. We talked about the close we needed to get above. We said 2041 Satoshis, which is about $2.20. If we held the 6-month and the monthly, which all happened on the same day, that it was go time. And guess what? The close happened and it is go time. 220 all the way up to 264. This is the kind of information that drops over in that Patreon group. I'm telling you, it is well worth the price of admission. You don't get overwhelmed with information. You only get the important stuff, and it is all broken down so everyone can understand what is going on. Now let's talk about Bitwise because they were over on there on Yahoo Finance when Bitcoin just broke out on 113K, which is not too long ago now, was it? Now, before you get settled, before you get your coffee in your hand, you better relax because Bitcoin, or Bitwise, they dropped a forecast that might make you spill it all over your keyboard. They're calling for Bitcoin to hit 200,000 by the end of this year. Remember, my predictions, XRP double digits, like 100% locked in guaranteed target of a double digit XRP if Bitcoin gets to 250K. Bitwise is like, look, we're looking at 200,000 this year. The next 3 to 6 months, as I've been talking about, are going to change your lives. Yes, you heard that right. $200,000 for a single Bitcoin. A single Bitcoin which used to cost $1. But here they are on the sideline yelling, XRP can never go to 20 bucks. XRP can never go to 50 bucks or 100 bucks. Its market cap will be too big. Yeah, they said Bitcoin, when it was $1, would never be $100, $1,000. And yet here we are. They're calling for a $200,000 Bitcoin. If you see those people, you need to just wave your hand at them and smile. Look, I know what you're thinking. Did Bitcoin accidentally maybe add an extra zero here, an extra digit? No, sorry, they didn't. That's a real prediction, and a lot of Wall Street thinks that it's going a lot higher than that as well. So let's put this into perspective real quick. If Bitcoin was a movie, it's not just coming back for a sequel. It's skipping straight to the blockbuster trilogy finale with Michael Bay explosions, plot twist, and probably a camel from Satoshi himself riding a freaking rocket to the moon. But here's what I love. Every time Wall Street says something this bold, half of crypto Twitter loses their minds. And the other half, they start updating their Tinder bios to future Bitcoin millionaires. You can't make it up, folks. Now is $200,000 Bitcoin? Well, of course. Is it going to get there? Well, I think so. Time will obviously tell, but I think it's going to get there. Let's listen to Bitwise and their reasoning.
I think we're going substantially higher from here.
Bitcoin hitting new highs, Matt. Walk us through what you think explains this. Is this correlation to tech stocks, Matt? Is it just continued enthusiasm from crypto-friendly policies from the White House? What do you chalk it up to? What do you make of it?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I think both of those are part of the story, but the bigger piece is just massive, unrelenting demand meeting limited supply. We're seeing companies buying huge amounts of Bitcoin and ETFs purchasing huge amounts of Bitcoin, and there's just not that much Bitcoin to go around. I'll mention in the last 30 days, we've seen Bitcoin ETFs acquire $5.2 billion of Bitcoin. That represents institutional investors making a giant allocation to this space. We see that trend continuing. And with the limited supply of Bitcoin, it's just forcing the price up. I think we're detaching from $100,000, and I think we're going substantially higher from here.
When you say substantially higher, Matt, give me some bogeys to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. I think once we break the gravity of around $100,000, where we've been trading in and out of for the last 6 months, I think it's sort of anyone's guess where we go. Here at Bitwise, we expect Bitcoin to top $200,000 by the end of the year, which I know sounds like a very large number, but the flows we're seeing from institutional investors and corporations are really significant. They're accelerating, not slowing down. And I think they're going to force that price substantially.
You heard that institutional investors all are accelerating. They are not slowing down. Well, folks, what do you think is going to happen when the institutional investors start buying up XRP? And they start buying it up and we start seeing a supply shock because there's no more XRP left on the exchanges. Or forget the exchanges, there's no more XRP left for these market makers to sell them. Where are they going to have to source their XRP from? Want to know where? They're going to have to source their XRP from the exchange. You know what happens when institution buys crypto from an exchange? The price goes through the roof. Retail is not moving the price of XRP. Retail will not affect the price of XRP. The big money, the ETFs, and the institutional inflows will affect the price of XRP. So let's talk about XRP for a second. I mean, the price is absolutely ripping right now. We just hit $2.63, about to be $2.64. We'll pull up the chart in a second. But look, I'm already bored with it. I was bored with it at $2.54. I'm bored with it at $2.62, $2.63. When is the $10 XRP coming, right? But seriously, let's not gloss over what's happening here in the XRP chart. Here it is. It's not just bullish. This chart is basically doing backflips over every single crypto right now. You know how everyone says don't fight the trend? Well, if you're fighting this trend, you're basically wrestling a tidal wave with a pool noodle. It's not going to help. It's not going to last, folks. That pool noodle is going to get eaten up. It's not just the chart either. Look at Ripple. They've been hustling behind the scenes since I've been in the space, and that's just 2017, grinding out real-world partnerships, cutting deals with banks, even talking to central banks. The world is finally waking up to what we've been saying for years. XRP isn't some flash in the pan. This is the real deal. We're seeing adoption everywhere, and now people are realizing, hey, XRP isn't going anywhere. In fact, in my honest opinion, a possibly biased opinion here, XRP is going to be the biggest gainer of this entire bull run. Forget Moon. XRP is looking at interplanetary travel. So yeah, $2.64 XRP, it's nice. But just remember, we're only getting started here, folks. And here's the chart. We talk about these green ranges. Let me expand this so it's a little easier to see. We talked about these ranges, okay? The last one we were in was 225 to 235. We told you when that broke out, we told you this on Wednesday, that this was going to break out, and we had a clear run at 247. There you go. The run for the 247 to 259 has officially broke out as well. So what happens next? Well, we got a clear run all the way up to 265. The exact area we are entering now in XRP. 2656 is your resistant area. all the way from there to 272. Once that gets broken, we will have, or we will, also we will have, we will run all the way up to 290. Then you got one last hurdle sitting at 290 to $3. There you go. We just entered that region. We're going to make this run up to 290 to $3, and then we're going to be fighting the all-time high. Before you know it, folks, it is on like you have never seen before. You are going to see a parabolic move, and this is all happening before Bitcoin has had its parabolic blow off top. We stated this before. The higher the price goes now, the higher the price is going to go after Bitcoin has that parabolic blow off top. I'm going to leave it like that. Look, if you want to become a member of the Patreon group, come support me, hit that link. Join below. Other than that, I'm going to see everyone on the next video. This might be a 3-video day. I'm excited. I'm pumped. I'll catch everyone on the next one.